Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host, I believe he's in New York, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Coming in.
I'm in some sort of basement. I mean,
No,
we got to do something about this camera. I'm gonna get a new computer, Andy. Why does it look like I'm being held hostage? I'm an ISIS camera. Help me! They're gonna behead me.
Do you think it'll matter if I upgrade to? So with StreamYard, you can upgrade to the full 1080, but I don't know if that would help because of our Mac camera.
Yeah,
the MacBook situation.
Well, listen, Andy. I'm here in New York. I'm in my sister's guest room. You can see my brother's hanging. My brother-in-law's like hanging TRX bands in the background. That's where he tortures people in this ISIS.
Yeah, what is that?
It's his like workout stuff. Yeah. This is where they're keeping Chandler Jones.
Man, what is happening, bro?
The NFL is going to go under because of CTE.
No, it won't. People don't care. You know why this? Here's the thing. Like the Chandler Jones episode that's unfolding.
The reason it's not going to go under is we are the media, and we're just going to dunk on him for like 20 minutes. Everybody's like, isn't that hilarious? His brain damage.
But that's my point. Is like nobody really ultimately cares.
I do care. I think this shit, like when this happens to these guys, the tendency is to be like, yo, he's crazy, and it's like, yo, he's got brain rot. Like he's gotten his brain thumped to the point where it's swollen, and he's now insane.
And he's only 33.
Yeah.
So he went on a tirade on both Instagram and Twitter today. We'll start with the Instagram. I mean, the biggest claim here is Aaron Hernandez did not commit suicide in jail. Josh McDaniels had him killed.
And why does Josh McDaniel care?
I don't know. He used to coach him. I don't know what Josh McDaniels would be trying to have covered up.
And this is all because Chandler Jones is now a Raider. Chandler Jones was a Patriot. Is a Raider. So he's moved with McDaniel. McDaniel's the real. Has he been the evil one the whole time? Wasn't Belichick. It was McDaniel that was the sinister. He murdered Aaron Hernandez. And where did he say it happened? In a parking lot?
Well, yeah, he claimed that it didn't happen in jail. That it's all a
now, was that an Epstein? Was that a fake body that got pulled out of that jail?
Oh, dude, he's still tweeting. This is fucking crazy. He said, Josh McDaniels had my twin, Aaron Hernandez, killed at Industrial Park, not in jail. See my Instagram for details.
I love that they promote their other social medias.
Well,
Full story on my TikTok.
Let's see what he says here. Because this is pretty wild, man. And then he starts crying. Here, I'll just pull it up.
Wait, they don't know what happened with Aaron Hernandez and Josh McDaniels. All right, y'all.
So what was he on there?
Let's pull it back. What?
Is he on Twitter Live?
No, this looks like Instagram.
Is it?
Yeah, it's IG Live.
Okay.
So He's acting surprised, like everyone. Hey, y'all don't know that Josh McDaniels whacked Aaron Hernandez, and it wasn't even in prison. And then he starts sobbing hysterically.
Wait, they don't know what happened with Aaron Hernandez and Josh McDaniels. All right, y'all thought Chico killed himself in jail? Y'all thought my nigga Chico killed himself in jail? Oh.
Oh,
I mean, is
this
he
is gonna
making
be my new move. This is gonna be my new move.
like
Who
what are
cries
you
like
making?
that?
What are you making s'mores this morning? What's he
Yeah.
doing with the bonfire? It's I don't know. Is he in like Jerusalem? The pictures he's posting. So he's on the physically unable to perform list currently for the Raiders.
Because his brain was leaking out his ears.
Yes, I think he's getting paid right now.
Yeah.
And what also is crazy, somebody sent a crisis team from the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue showed up a few weeks ago on September 7th. He's claiming the Raiders sent that. And then 2 days ago, he announced that they came again on the 25th and that they admitted him to a hospital against his wishes for a behavioral health center. He also is posting the personal DMs that he had with the NFLPA reached out to him. And he basically called them a mob and that they're in cahoots with the NFL.
Probably not far from true.
I was gonna say that one. I'm like, yeah, I think he's probably got something here.
I mean, let's be honest. That's like not that crazy, right? That the NFL and the NFLPA and the whoever they get to be the president of the NFLPA that then advises the players is probably in cahoots with the NFL, trying to like make it go. But in a way, that's kind of the name of the game, right? Isn't that the name? Like, if the players weren't in cahoots, if the Players Association wasn't in cahoots with the NFL, then there would be no league, because there's a lot of things wrong with the NFL that the players could do, or there's a lot of things that the players wish were different, but the NFL will never let be different. And so, yeah, the guy who's the NFLPA and the executives at the NFLPA, their job is to bridge the gap.
I mean, here's the latest. He said, he tweeted, "I'm off social media for a while." Well, this isn't the latest. This is 3 hours ago, and he continued to tweet, "I'm off social media for a while. You've seen enough. I'll leave that live video up until noon. Screen record it while you can.
Bro, we got it.
I'm about to hang out with strippers. Don't check my well-being. They got me."
Well, that's good.
And now he's posting, Antonio.
Dude, if you're a stripper and an NFL player with CTE walks in, are you just like, we're rich, bitch?
That's unbelievable.
Do you want to go into the VIP room? It's the only one where Goodell doesn't have microphones set up. He's like, yeah, VIP room. Take all my money.
Now Antonio Brown is chiming in. He's quote tweeting that. This is hilarious. Antonio Brown quote tweeted him 25 minutes ago and said, "I love you, bro. Come and see you, King. Give them my real number. We all coming." Don't know what that means.
The CTE All-Stars.
Well, he actually said that. Chandler Jones quote tweeted Antonio Brown and said, "We got to sit down and have a kumbaya. Call it a CTE podcast. Love you too." At least he's aware.
Yeah.
It's good self-awareness.
Imagine the E network, except it's the CTE network.
We've talked about this.
Up next on Brain Soup.
to your previous point, this is why nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
Like you said, we've just made 10 minutes of jokes watching someone's complete.
No, it's horrible. I mean, I've said that about the NFL forever. It's like, dude, if I have one issue with the NFL beyond obviously, and it's back in the news. I don't know if we were planning on talking about it. I didn't see the rundown, but if there's one thing beyond the like controlling of the players, the not letting the players have a voice, blah blah blah, Kaepernick, all that shit, like going out of their way to essentially control what these guys can say and do. It's the lack of care for guys during and after, when they're like, the NFL makes so much money that you would think that they would have essentially a VA. Like I've said this before. Like why doesn't Canton? Why don't they just pick some central location like Canton, Ohio, and have a VA? And it's just, essentially a centrally located hospital, brain specialists, orthopedists, whatever, that just take care of players after the fact and during the fact. Honestly, with all the intercourse that the NFL and the United States military do with the flyovers and all the bullshit, with the NFL essentially being a military propaganda campaign, why not just make it the VA? Why not just be like the VAs for veterans and veterans of the NFL?
Well, we know why, because they don't have to.
Right.
And they don't want to give up any more money.
But this shit is all bad press. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to affect them, is my point. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. I mean, I can just imagine what goes on at the NFLPA offices. Or not the NFLPA, the NFL PR, like the public relations department at the NFL right now. They're like, Chandler Jones is losing his mind on CTE, says Josh McDaniel killed. They're like, can we get pictures of Taylor Swift sucking off Travis Kelce? That'll fucking, no one will talk about Chandler Jones at all. Can we get Taylor Swift to go to the Jets game this weekend?
You know how many calls we got about that?
I had somebody honestly slide in my DMs and be like, Prano, I'm not even a Taylor Swift fan, but we need to talk. The idea that you said this is like him, like that this isn't like that he's kind of taking an L here is like absurd. And I need to clarify something. Guys, I don't care how successful Taylor Swift is. It does not have anything to do with that, in my opinion. Taylor Swift is apparently worth just over $1 billion after this tour thing is settled. Let's imagine Travis Kelce is worth $0. Let's imagine that. He's not. He's probably closer to between 50 and 100 million.
We literally have dude, somebody played this out in a call.
Okay, let me just say something and then we can play this call. So let's say Travis Kelce is worth $0 and Taylor Swift's worth $1 billion. She is worth $1 billion more than Travis Kelce. Okay. Jeff Bezos is worth $150 million. Taylor Swift is worth $1 billion. So he is worth $140 billion more than Taylor Swift. If Taylor Swift started fucking Jeff Bezos, that would be an L for Taylor Swift. For you to fuck a bald, middle-aged man just because he has money is a fucking L for you. It's an L.
I don't think we agree on this one.
It's an L. Dude, fucking the idea, essentially the counter argument to this is it's okay to fuck somebody if they're super successful. That's being a whore. That's what you are. Then you're just a prostitute.
Well, look, no one's yeah, that's fine.
My
you can
point
say
is
that.
this. Taylor Swift, medium attractive, 30-something white girl. If she fucked Jeff Bezos, it would be an L because the only explanation for it would be money.
Well, look, let me.
It is the exact same thing.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Before I play the call, here we are again. And we have so many calls about this. I guess I'll play a few. I won't play a few. I appreciate you guys all leaving calls. There's two things at play. There's the money, there's the propping up your brand, but there's also this, right? I know personally speaking on my own behalf, I've had sex with girls that might not be the most attractive, but there's something about them that I find attractive. I'm talking just based on strictly looks. Let's do a superficial level, right? There might be something about a girl like, dude, that really has me into her, right? And she might not be a 10, right? So there is that factor. Now, do I think that's Taylor Swift? No. In fact, I'm going to do another personal reference. When I was on Dirty Pop with Lance Bass, I created this game. It was called it was a stupid game. We gossip. We base how they were in bed. It was called Celebrity Prude or Freak. And we just debate on air. I'd pull up somebody like Taylor Swift or like Miley Cyrus, and you debate with everybody on the panel. And it was funny too, because you had gay guys talking about it, right? Who weren't even attracted to the women. So
right.
it created funny banter. Anyway, I distinctly remember Taylor Swift. And I distinctly remember, this is 8 years ago. I distinctly remember going off on a rant saying, I think she'd be terrible in bed. She'd get a penis by her and be like, do what I do with it? You know, to touch it? You know, like, so I said, I think she'd be terrible sexually.
Listen, I'm not, I want to make this clear because this is not my joke.
But
It's all over the internet right now. There's like a meme going around, like Taylor Swift writes music for girls who give toothy head.
Okay,
like,
so
so
that goes back to what I said 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
the
my
meme
point.
the meme is essentially Taylor Swift seems like she gives toothy head.
Okay, so it seems like that meme agrees with what I said 8 years ago, and that's my point. But going back to my previous point real quick, there are girls, my point is, that might give great head and they might be a 6. Maybe Kelce thinks she's that. I don't know. But this seems to obviously be a hot button issue for the dirtballs. I mean, it's hilarious. I'll just pull up the call that I was talking about where he's like playing this out from Travis Kelce from basically a business perspective.
Okay, boys, I got some long con here. All right, check this out. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Now, Travis Kelce's net worth is $30 million. Taylor Swift's is $740 million. All right?
Both of those are low.
You could fuck a 5 for 3 years, right? And wind up getting $150 million. I'll explain why. Kelce is making about $14.3 million a year with $20 million. Like say $20 million total in side deals, right? Taylor Swift is making $100 million a year. So he fucks her so well, right? Gets her so sprung that she doesn't sign a prenup, right? He marries her, fucks her for 3 years, right? Takes half her shit. That's $150 million. If he wasn't fucking Taylor Swift, he'd be making $20 million a year. $60 million is good money and shit, but $150 million, that's fuck you money. And I think that's the long con going on from Travis Kelce. I don't know. That's just my theory. We'll see how it plays out. Stay dirty.
Dude, let me tell you something about Taylor Swift. Nobody is more calculated in the whole world than that absolute psychopath. She goes out and she's wearing like, you know, exactly 13 pieces of clothing because all of her whole life is an Easter egg. The idea of Taylor Swift marrying some dude without a prenup is insanity.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hold on. Also, the idea, here's the thing. She's not marrying him, but it goes back to my point of Kelce he's boosted his brand. Whether you agree with it or not, that's the truth. I don't know if you saw this, but already, and this was published 2 days ago, the Travis Kelce jersey sales are up 400% this week.
By the way, how many jerseys do you think somebody sells in a week? Just typically. How many Travis Kelce jerseys do you think typically sell? I
mean, he's a pretty popular player. Probably a lot.
Probably 100?
No.
You're not selling thousands of jerseys a week.
Yeah, I think he could be. Now he could be.
He's selling now, he's probably selling 500 now. He's probably selling 100 jerseys a week.
I think you're way off.
You just got to think about like,
no, you got to think about how crazy people are with NFL, man. And he plays for the Chiefs, the best team in the last 5 years.
So it went from 500 to 2,000.
Look, my point
Also,
is
he doesn't get that money.
Yeah, but my point is his brand.
But this is it's the ultimate catch-22, Andy. His brand is fine until he gets a couple drinks, fucks an Instagram model, she finds out, and then she literally cancels him. It's all fun and games until you forget to go to her birthday brunch.
Yeah, but who okay, I haven't followed her close enough. Who famous has she canceled though?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal's having a great career. That's my point.
It's not about, it's the PR. You talk about, it's all the 400% uptick, the 400% raise. Those are, if we're saying those are all Swifties, those are all people who will then burn the jersey after. It's not going to do anything to his original fam. No dudes who watch the Chiefs care about any of this stuff. But then you're going to have an attack. I'm literally shadow banned on all social media accounts for saying I don't like her.
I know, but again, I'm a believer in the adage, all press is good press. So it's like, oh, so then there's videos of Swifties burning his jersey. Yeah, he's still remaining relevant. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying
My
I
manager
agree.
said he had a crush on her. Who's to say who can't be attracted to somebody? My point is, I don't think he did. I think that this is exactly what everybody's thinking. I think this is Travis Kelce being like, wouldn't it be cool
to elevate?
Wouldn't it make me popular?
But the reason I brought that up is not everything is based. You might not find her attractive, or not everything is based on the superficial like model looks. That's all I'm saying on all this, right? Like maybe he is just straight up attracted to her. Like you're kind of taking that out of it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Plus, they're not even really dating. Can we, like, everyone needs to tap the brakes. They hung out. And it turned into a thing. And it didn't affect the Chiefs because luckily they played the Bears, and the Bears are just terrible.
It's not going to affect the Chiefs. It's going to be, I'm telling you, you don't know these people the way I know these people.
Yeah, I don't.
It has nothing to do with right now. Has nothing to do with right now. It's if anything ever goes wrong.
You're saying the repercussions.
Yeah.
Well, I think the NFL is obviously slobbering over all of this. They're absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the NFL is like posting it all the time, and the NFL Taylor's version and all that shit.
But look, I appreciate the calls on this. I'm not going to play the other calls. Like, I don't know what else we want to say about this. Clearly, whatever they're doing is working. Everybody's talking about it. But we need to hop into some non-football. Massive trade yesterday. 3-team trade. Damian Lillard does not go to the Heat. He goes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Kind of a shocker of a trade, right?
I mean, it was never rumored. It seemed like he had said Heat or nobody. Out of nowhere, people were talking about Toronto.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where? I was like, Dame Lillard's going to go to Toronto? Does that, how do they're not a contender. They're not any more of a contender than the Blazers are. Then he's in Toronto, which I was just in, nice city, but like, I mean, it's not a whole lot different vibe than Portland. In terms of like, it seemed like he had his sights set on Miami, which was obviously multi-layered. The Heat, they're in the finals. They're maybe a player away, and it's Miami. But
Did you just compare Toronto to Portland?
in terms of what?
Like cities.
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare. I've never been to either, but I wouldn't compare those two.
Why not?
One's an extremely large. First of all, Toronto's a massive city.
Yeah.
It's like Chicago size. Portland's a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller, but we're talking about the vibes of the city. Weather's generally the same. Pacific Northwest are essentially Canadians.
They're not getting that snow though.
No.
All right. Well, regardless, he's going to the Bucks. 3-team trade. Blazers get DeAndre Ayton from the Suns. Holiday, a 2029 first-round pick. What does it mean when they say pick swaps with Bucks 2028, 2030?
That means that they have the option to swap first-round picks depending on who has the better. You don't just get their first-round pick, but you can swap theirs with yours if they have a better first-rounder than you.
Gotcha. And then the Suns will get Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasser Little, and Nurkic.
It's kind of a good trade all around because Portland had no choice. Ayton, they wanted off the Suns. I don't know if I guess with Portland's like young backcourt and wing situation, that having an Ayton in the middle might not be a terrible thing. I mean, it seemed like no one really would have wanted the Ayton part of this because he's an expensive big, but I guess it works for them since they're rebuilding and they have the guys that are going to have to get paid while I'll be young guys, while I'll be smaller guys. So it seems like it works out for everybody. It certainly works out for the Bucks, right? I mean,
I saw 4-1 title odds now.
As far as a big three goes, I know Chris Middleton's not in the same class as those other two guys, but he is an all-star. It's got to make them the favorites in the East, right? Just as it would have if Dame went to the Heat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's big win for a small market too.
Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully everybody there is celebrating with some Miller Lights.
Yeah, good plug right there, Joe. I see you rocking the Miller Lite.
Get those Miller Lights in the streets.
Rocking the Miller Lite gear today.
That's right.
Yeah, I bet they are. I bet there's lots of Miller Lite celebrations happening in the Deer District. I believe that's what they call it.
Is it deer beer?
Yeah, maybe they call it that.
Um,
Guys, I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say the sports bars in Milwaukee, Miller Lite will be flowing. It'll be flowing all football season long too, right?
That's right.
Like Miller Lite tells us, guys, from kickoff till the clock runs out, you can't go wrong with a Miller Lite in your hand. So if you're watching games, if you're celebrating, whatever you're doing in Milwaukee, just do that across the country, guys. Go grab you some Miller Lite.
Packers fans are happy right now. Brewers fans are happy right now. Bucks fans are happy right now. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a good place to be right now. A good place to be always when you're that close to the fresh Miller Lite. Every city should take a page from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Try to get yourself a Miller Lite brewery in every town. Maybe you have the sports success Milwaukee's having right now.
Little Miller Lite bump. Make it Miller Lite time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/dirty sports, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So they are now the favorites in the East. They're the favorites to win it per Las Vegas gambling odds.
They're the favorites to win it in the East, or they're the favorites across the board?
Across the board, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they jumped. Denver, the reigning champs. I think from everything I've read, that was a big win for Portland not sending him to Miami because they didn't want to give in.
Right.
Right. That was an ego thing. You are saying you only want to go to the Heat. Well, we're not going to send you to the Heat. But for him, if he really wants to win, it's a good win for him as well.
I have a feeling that this is a better deal than they were trying to get from the Heat as well. They were probably trying to get bent over. The Heat were probably trying to bend them over a little bit because he said he only wanted to go there. So they found a way to get done. And again, I don't think it changes. I don't think it's a huge difference culture wise in terms of, he's not going to be doing boat parties in all white in Milwaukee, but he certainly has a chance to win, which I'm sure was as important, if not more important to him. You're only a couple years removed from a Bucks championship. You have Giannis in his prime. Essentially, the starting lineup will be Giannis, him, Middleton, and then probably two other Antetokounmpos.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, they're the favorites right now with the Nuggets second, and then Boston and then the Suns and the Warriors. So, I mean, the season's right around the corner. Doesn't it start in October?
Yeah.
They start this shit so early now.
Yeah.
It all comes together. You got football, you got baseball playoffs, you got NBA. I always forget how many teams make the baseball playoffs now.
7?
Is
No.
it 7?
6? How does it work now? There's 2. Yeah, it's 6 because 2 teams. The first 2. There's 3 wild cards, and then there's the worst division winner will play in the wild card rounds, and those 4 will go down to 2, and they'll play the 2 division winners that qualified for buys. 6 aside. 7 in the NFL now.
Okay. That makes sense. Yesterday, Ron Acuna Jr., first 40-70 Major League Baseball player.
Yep.
Pretty insane. 40 bombs, 70 stolen bases.
No doubt about it. I mean, when you go back and you look at through the years, that hasn't happened before. The era of less stolen bases, all those years, as guys started hitting more home runs, people started stealing a lot less bases. Now, this takes nothing away from Acuna. He's one of the best players in baseball, but bigger bags, only being able to step off and throw over X amount of times, pitch clock, all that stuff. For the guys who could steal bases, it's brought the stolen base back. So I think that was a huge factor in him stealing 70 bases this year.
Yeah. Oh, we just got a comment from Gene Marty Hunt. Shout out to one of my old faves. Eric Davis was the closest. Was he? I knew he was close.
The closest to what? Eric Davis never went 40-40, right?
He did.
He did go 40-40 after Canseco.
No, you're right. He didn't go 40-40.
Now, are you saying he stole a bunch of bases, but he never got to the 40 home runs?
He got, no, I'm looking his prime. 80 stolen bases one year with 27 bombs, 37 bombs one year with 50 stolen bases. Yeah, he didn't actually didn't come as close as I thought.
But exactly the kind of guy, because if he stole 80 bases, then especially with the rule changes now, he's probably stealing that many bases, and then launch angle, all that stuff. Like he'd be hitting for less average, hitting more homers.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty crazy stat to do 40-70, even with all those things.
Yeah,
that's a pretty insane stat. especially if you create it. Like nobody's done it before. I'm actually going to play a baseball call.
Great.
Baseball does exist, guys. I will play a call to verify. It's a call about the Orioles.
Love the Orioles.
Hello, Joe and Andy. I know we're in the midst of the NFL season, but just looking at baseball, as a lifelong Baltimore Orioles fan, I am now seeing my team win the division, essentially, and get the first overall seed in the playoffs. So I'm just wondering who you guys think are going to win, or any teams to watch. I think my top three favorites are definitely the Orioles, Astros still, and the high-flying Braves. Just let me know what you think. There are no condoms for anyone today. I will say Joe and Andy need to make more podcasts. So no condoms, just make more podcasts for a long time. Stay together. Let's get it going. All right. Peace.
Was there fear
Hello, Joe and Andy. I know we're...
What?
Is there fear we're going to stop this?
I don't know. Not sure. I appreciate the call. Thank you.
I mean, I think Orioles Braves is kind of circling as like a seemingly obvious World Series, but obvious so much can happen. The Astros, with all of their experience, are going to be tough to beat. Like an Orioles Astros ALCS would be nice. There's a lot of, the sort of original young up and coming pseudo dynasty team, and then a team built in the exact same model coming around, essentially the new Astros. That would be really fun. The Braves in the NL are going to be really, really tough to beat, but you never know. I if I had to pick right now, I'd say the same as he did. Like I think the AL could very well come down to Orioles, Astros, and is it just experience that gets it done? It seems like the Braves are just an absolute buzzsaw in the NL, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of pitching shows up for some of these other teams. That's the name of the game, man. The Braves have a lot of bats, and Braves fans don't want to hear this, but like I think their pitching is suspect. I think this goes back to some Dodger days from the last decade or so, when it's like, yeah, but if you match up with a good pitching staff that gets hot, you're not going to be scoring 10, 12 runs a game every game in the playoffs. You're now facing good playoff teams. You're not going to be facing fourth and fifth starters. So let's see whose pitching shows up. But it seems like the Braves offense is so good that even in my opinion, their suspect pitching could probably get them through.
I still haven't watched a full baseball game.
Of any kind?
Nope.
Okay.
Didn't go to a single.
The Dirty Football Podcast.
No, I did not go to a single minor league or major league baseball game. Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Look, come playoff time, I got the 2 TV set up. It can. Baseball will be on the small TV when I'm watching a.
Let's be honest. No, it won't. No, it won't.
No, yeah, well, like a terrible Monday Night Football game. Which, by the way, they didn't plan out these double headers, did they, ahead of time?
I don't know. How so?
I'm confused. Did the Manning cast happen last week?
No, I don't think so.
But that's my point. They didn't plan out these double headers. Because the Manning cast, when they advertised the games they're doing the Manning cast, like this week for sure, the Bengals was supposed to be one. But what they're doing is they're taking up the ESPN2 with these other games.
Right.
This wasn't planned until real recently.
Hate the two game.
I do too. I agree.
Just do it the 1 week if you want to open the season or whatever. But other than that, and you're saying this isn't done. We're going to keep having these?
I think there's going to be a few more.
Horrible. I hate it. Monday Night Football is Monday Night Football. You want the double broadcast? Give me the Mannings.
They're getting greedy. They've been greedy, but like now they're getting really greedy for that. Yeah, there's just one game this week, you Giants. But I
Giants,
agree.
Seahawks. I'm trying to decide if I should try to go to that game.
Line is even at this point.
Ooh, it's coming down. A lot of bets on the Seahawks, I guess.
Yeah. Who opened? Wait, who opened in that one? Giants
Who opened as
faves?
favorites? I don't know, but I know a couple days ago it was Giants -1. Giants -1.5. So I don't know if that bumped from, I don't know if it started even and it bumped up and it came back. I'm assuming it didn't open as Seattle favorites and already swing both ways.
Yeah. How long are you in New York?
I will be here for basically a week. I'm here until Wednesday. Wednesday morning, a fly to Florida. Thanks, Andy. Let's do some plugs. Fly to Florida on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I'll be at Comedy Key West in Key West, Florida. If you're down in the Keys, or if you're even in South Florida, or if you're in the Caribbean, make your way over to Key West. Get in a boat. Get in a raft. Come down to Key West. We'll do some Jimmy Buffett tourism. Rip Jimmy Buffett. We'll do shows 4 nights in a row, Comedy Key West, and then up to Miami for Giants at Dolphins on the 8th, and then I'm back to LA. But between now and then, I've got a show tonight. Going to be doing a little guest set before Erica Rhodes at Stanford, New York Comedy Club Stanford tonight. Tomorrow night, I'll be at Empire City Casino in Yonkers, opening for Dan Natterman. So come to either one of those shows if you're in the tri-state area, and then down to Florida. This coming Tuesday, I'll be making my return on Amazon on the daily sports television show Game Breakers. I did that a couple months ago. Did that last year. I guess that would have been last offseason because we were talking about Aaron Rodgers last time I was there and the move to the Jets. In all that time, he's come and gone from the Jets. So if you have Amazon, tune into Game Breakers this coming Tuesday. I'll be there. And then, of course, we'll do the rest of my tour dates at the end of the show.
And December 16th in New Orleans.
That's right. Comedy House New Orleans, 1000th Dirty Sports podcast. I'm so excited for it. This trip's really coming together. Right? You locked and loaded our Airbnb. I won't say precisely what part of town in. Oh, I'll say the part of town, but I won't say precisely where we are. We're going to be like down in the Garden District, Magazine Street area, real fun part of town. I'm going to put it out there right now to all the dirtballs who are listening and planning on coming. I'm eyeing a little brewery meetup Friday night. So I think it's Port of New Orleans Brewing Co. Port of New Orleans Brewing Co. Think of a little Friday night if everybody's trickling into town on Friday. Maybe a little brewery backyard cornhole beer smashing situation at Port of New Orleans Brewing Co. So, Andy, how are we going to centralize like a conversation about this? Like, can somebody who's coming take the lead here? Like, is Reddit the best place? Is a big group chat on Twitter the best place? I mean, I know a group chat on Twitter, obviously Elon Musk will also be reading and monitoring our movements on. Is it, I mean, I'm certainly not giving you lunatics my phone number. So is it a Twitter group chat? Is it a Reddit forum? How are we doing this? Best place to coordinate, because we're going to do, sounds like a little brewery thing on Friday, podcast Saturday, 2 shows Saturday, tailgate Sunday, game Sunday. We got to coordinate, guys. I can't text each and every one of you guys. In fact, I'd like to not text any of you because most of you are insane.
Yeah, they changed my flight. I'm noticing as well. They keep changing. Dude, they changed my flight 2 times down there.
What do you mean they've changed your flight?
I know. How do they do that? How's that legal?
I don't even understand what that means.
It means I got an email today.
The flight time has changed?
Yeah. But
by how long?
Well, it's not really going to affect going down there. I still get down there at 7:33 on Friday.
Okay.
But like they changed my arrival big time, or my coming home big time. Now it's for the better. Instead of leaving at 5:30 in the morning, I leave at 9:30. But like, you can't just change a flight by 4 hours and be like, yeah, we changed your flight. Like,
what are you flying?
dude, they're all shitty. Flying American.
American's one of the shittier ones.
Yeah,
American at this point is just above the budget ones. American is like the bridge from Spirit and Frontier to like the regular carriers.
You think?
Yeah. American's one that pulled that Asian man off the flight, remember? Beat him with sticks.
Yeah, I don't like American. But like, what you can like,
I treat airlines essentially like I treat NFL quarterbacks at this point. The JetBlue, the Delta, the whatever, those are my Mahomeses and my Burrows and my Justin Herberts, and everybody else is just whatever. And then like, I won't Kirk Cousins on Spirit. You know, I just refuse. I won't Zach Wilson my way on Frontier. I mean, you're basically taking the, you know, you're probably on the Daniel Jones of airlines, honestly.
but not only that, they lie because I mean, I don't care what anybody says, it's a lie. You can't list that price and then do the baggage.
Oh
and
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like that one, literally, they charge you to walk onto the plane.
Yeah.
Frontier and Spirit. They should make that up front. This is actually my first time flying in a couple of years. I think this is the longest I've gone without flying.
Dude, you're such a mid at this point. You just Costco and home.
This is the longest I've gone without flying since.
I'm worried about your general well-being. Like,
I'm not Chandler Jones.
You're not, but you're not a big drinker, obviously, at all. Like, do you ever find yourself in like a bar? Do you meet your friends out at like a bar and like, what do you do, Andy? I guess is my question.
Dude, I got a 7-month-old, man. Like, that's my life right now for the most part.
Guys, I wish I could tell you Andy Ruther, like Andy Ruther from like 10 years ago. It's like, cool, you had a kid, you did that yourself. Like, what are you talking about here?
I don't think I said that. But I don't complain about it. It's
no,
like,
you don't complain about it, but
it is what here's the thing. It is what it is.
Parents come in different classes. Like there's like the parents that are taking their kids to the fucking brewery, and then there's the kid, and then there's the parents that are like, listen, I have a kid. I'm pretty much home for the next 18 years. Like when it goes to college, like I'm good.
No, well, first of all, like you said, I don't drink, so like I'm not going to. It's not that I just stay at home all the time, but it could take, like yesterday's a prime example. She had a fever Tuesday night, so obviously she doesn't go to daycare yesterday. And of course, this all happens when Brittany's working a 9 to 9, so it's like, okay, I got a sick baby all day, all night, and it's like that is what it is. Like, you just got to deal with it.
But if let's say you guys were like, one day it was like, you're like, it's a Tuesday, and you're like, hey, this weekend we should do something for us. What's that look like? You guys like go out and have dinner one night, or you go to a thing? You go to a.
Are you talking with or without the baby?
I don't know. You tell me. I guess without the baby. Let's say without the baby. You guys go play some mini golf? Like, what do we do here?
It'd most likely be dinner.
Throw some axes?
That would be fun. It'd most likely be dinner.
Have you ever done the axe throwing?
No, we talked about going bowling the other day. But we'd bring her because she would like that. No, yeah. She's actually great to take out. She's chill. But like, this is my life. So take last Saturday.
Didn't you just really be stockpiling dough. You just like in your house playing Papa Shot all day.
Yeah, but I got a lot more expenses now, man. Shit, dude. It's like they say, houses are just money pits. Thing after thing, you gotta get fixed or replaced. But like take like last Saturday, chill day. Did some stuff around the house. Her mom came over for dinner. I mean, we went on a walk. Like this is. I know this is what we got. The next day, my brother had invited a bunch of my family over, so the fam went over to my brother's place for a grill out, watched some football, attempted to watch football, whatever was happening with YouTube, came home. I mean, like, it definitely gets better when they get older. I'm not going to be, but also I'm not, I mean, this is my life. A few weeks ago, went to my old high school football game, like a couple of buddies. We went out afterwards. Like, I mean,
where do you guys go after a high school football game?
We went to a bar, a couple bars. But like they're gonna have a few. I'm not, obviously. But like I'm not like chained in the basement. And also I'm fortunate enough that I have a significant other who's never like, you're going out.
Right.
We have a baby. Like, I know a lot of dudes whose wives or girls are kind of assholes about that shit, which I think is crazy. I mean, you obviously have a whole bit on it.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
Oh, 100%.
It's 100% true. Like, she went out with friends a few Saturdays ago, and she went out with friends for like that same thing, like dinner and drinks. And she's
Girls' night out.
She's like, "Are you cool with it?" And I was like, "You haven't even got it." Like, yeah, I don't like, yeah. Like, the thing is, the babies don't stay up. She's in bed by 8. It's like, yeah. And what I thought was going to be watching a Colorado game, no, that thing didn't start till 10. Closed. That was the night the Colorado game went to like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Which, like, who's staying up for this? But you don't need to. I'm not Chandler Jones. This is what it is. Went to the Bengals game a couple weeks ago. But how different is that from me really in Venice though?
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. But also in Venice, and I was just talking about this because I'm not on the beach anymore, and I'm like, I just said to my girlfriend, I was like, I gotta move back to the beach. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's north, if it's south, or it's whatever. I don't care if it's Venice again. I don't care if it's somewhere else. Like, I don't care how far I have to go on the north and the south direction. I just need to move west, because that's the thing about Venice, Andy. It's like, even when you would not do anything,
you did.
Like, I would have those days where like I got up and I started getting on emails and I started doing work and the blah blah blah, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh man, Monday Night Football starts at 5, and you have this like 2 or 3 hour window, and you're like, just go for a walk, just go for a bike ride, recharge the soul by the ocean.
But that's true. Exactly. It's like, oh, I didn't do anything today. Well, I rode my bike to the beach for a few hours and hung out. It's like, I did something.
And I love, like, I'm in Westchester right now, and where you are is really nice, but it's just not the same. Like, taking a bike ride around my sister's neighborhood, it's like beautiful. There's like trees and it's wonderful. It's like it's so country out here, but it's just not the same as.
No,
there's something about the ocean.
What's the air? It's the smell. It's the feel. Oh, I get it. Trust me. I mean, you know me. I was like the king of the late night walks and bike rides.
Yeah.
It's just everything about that. Trust me. I do walks here now with the baby all the time. It's not the same. But I want to circle back to something real quick. You allude to Papa Shot. Dude, I'm so good now at Papa Shot. Not humble brag, just be completely bragging. I'm so good. I only play left-handed now because I have to challenge myself. Like, right-handed is just too easy. So now I just play left-handed. And to be honest, I think I can beat most people. In fact, I would probably beat 90% of people I'm playing with my offhand now. Because she loves it. She's never cried. I can't figure it out. She giggles and she just sits there, and I'll usually play for 15 or 20 minutes at a time, like once a day. Maybe she could
be a former future NBA, WNBA player, aka maybe your daughter's a lesbian.
She could be. She could be both. But I don't think she's going to be a WNBA player. She's got the Andy genes. She's a runt, dude. She's going to be a runt. Her mom's not that tall. Like, she's going to be a runt. Sorry, you got the Andy genes. But she's impressed by my game. My best ever Papa Shot. Just humble brag real quick. The other day.
The good news is, Andy, in the WNBA, they don't play above the rim at all. So you could probably be a runt and still be an WNBA star.
True. What do you think I scored when I didn't miss a shot? I had my first ever not miss a shot.
With the right hand?
Right hand.
Is it you get twos and then you get, I don't know, 170?
So this is what you get. You start out with
Twos until you hit a certain mark, and then
start out
it
with
goes
30
to three.
seconds, and then the last 10 are all over 3.
And then if you go over
30, you get another 15 seconds. Same
Right.
thing. Last 10 over 3, and then another 10 seconds. So max time is 55 seconds.
I'm saying 170.
142, actually. Now, I don't know if I can pick up the pace quicker. That was without missing a shot. That was my high score ever. I think my high score for left hand is like 98.
I mean, you've seen that Asian guy, right?
Yeah, not him.
I know. That's the thing. You were like, well, I've mastered it. I'm like, I don't know. Going with both hands, like you're talking about going right hand and going left hand. He was just going. It's so mechanical. It's just being a robot.
Yeah, but see, the Asian guy video, that's not fun. I at least feel like I'm playing basketball, even though I'm not. Like, let's put that.
Playing basketball. I feel like I'm playing basketball.
I mean,
you like backhanded almost. You're doing like little tossies.
It depends. Some days I'm in the mood to actually like kind of give it a little, a shooting stroke. I don't know. I know. Well, look, it's definitely a great gift. If you're a dad, I recommend, because again, most kids are just love anything that has action. So it's like she can just sit there and watch and giggle and laugh and smile, and you're like, this doesn't get old for you. Cool. Dad's gonna become a professional Papa Shot player. What I should do is invite people over and hustle them. Like my neighbor was talking shit to me, and he was like, dude, I bet I can beat you. I was like, you won't come close. And I was like, I'm not even saying I'm a stud basketball player. I play this shit every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day. 20 minutes every day is all you need just to get good. He's like, oh, no. I was like, dude, I'll crush you left-handed. Let's put some money down on it. You come over, you play right-handed, I'll play left-handed. I'll beat the shit out of you.
You should see that's not how hustling works, Andy. You should have had him come over, and you should have played him left-handed. He would have felt like he was close. And then you'd be like, hey, you want to put a little dough on it? And then you go right-handed. It's like lights out.
True. He's also my neighbor, I'm trying to be nice. What was the name of Uncle Phil's pull stick when he hustles the shark?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Clarence? What was it?
It's hilarious. Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think it wasn't Clarence. What was it?
Clarice? I don't remember what it was. When Jeffrey bust out the pull stick? Yeah.
That's an all-time Fresh Prince episode.
That is an all-time Fresh Prince.
Overrated, underrated. Fresh Prince is one of the most underrated shows of all time.
Agreed.
Nobody talks about Fresh Prince. Everyone's talking about Seinfeld, The Office, Friends. Nobody talks about Fresh Prince.
Dude, the Office that's just a generational divide. I'll watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air over The Office 10 times out of 10.
I mean, I like
just,
The Office. I never watched it religiously.
No shade to our friend Tug Coker. I know he
Sure.
had a very important role on The Office as one of Jim's brothers, but like I still don't fucking get The Office. I just don't. It's never hit for me. My girlfriend loves The Office. She was like, I should rewatch The Office. Will you watch it with me? I was like, sure. I was like, I've never watched it, and she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I've never watched The Office. I've tried. I just don't. And she's like, let's rewatch it together. She started it. I was on my phone in 3 minutes.
No, I like it. I won't sit there and watch it, but I agree. Fresh Prince, I will. By the way, his pull stick name was Lucille.
Lucille. That's right. It was BB. It's like BB King's guitar.
It is BB King's guitar. I had to look that up real quick. But that again, that I agree. That's a show that I could just sit down and watch and laugh. It was an epic show.
I mean, just throwing Jazzy Jeff out the door all the time. It was like
It's-
absurd, but it was hilarious.
It was ridiculous. Have you watched any of the new like serious version?
No.
Me either. I was like, you guys can't make Fresh Prince serious? the whole point of it that it was just like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because every time they show the pilot, they're playing basketball in Venice Beach. You notice that?
Yeah. In West Philadelphia.
You guys want to do the picks this week?
Sure. I haven't looked at the rundown, Andy, so I don't know what you had dialed up for us.
No, we'll sprinkle like I like to do now. We'll sprinkle in some calls with the Week 4 NFL picks. 310-359-8365. That is our hotline. Give us a ring. All right, you got a few on me last week. I think you cut the lead.
And you snuck out a push on Monday night too. Or else it could have been a lot worse for you.
Yeah.
Sean McVay is literally on a week-to-week basis just being like, I'm just trying to cover.
I was reading what a lot of Rams fans said about that game, and I almost agree. They said that's the worst play called game we've ever seen from Sean McVay.
On Monday?
Yeah. And the argument was that, like, they're obviously getting to Stafford left and right. He was getting lit up. But the argument was that the Rams have been running the ball so well this year. And McVay just said, we're not even going to try to run the ball. And they're like, why? Especially if the pass rush for the Bengals was playing so well. I mean, Stafford was getting murdered.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't super effective running the ball early either. I think it was just a matter of.
Burrow looked terrible, by the way. Burrow is like, Bengals fans are going to want to hear this. He is, I was like texting with a buddy. My buddy texted me first. He's like, dude, what am I watching here?
Yeah. It's not good. And it can't, like, I hate to be that guy, but it's like, it can't just be the calf. I think it's got to be a combo calf, no preseason, no practice time. Like it's one thing, it was always super frustrating as a Giants fan because the guy was so talented, but you could just tell, like, Plaxico Burress and his entire time at the Giants, he was just an advisor riding a stationary bike at a very slow pace like the dude never practiced. And yeah, he had some great catches for the Giants in some big spots, but like he was also a guy you're like, you're so good and you catch 50 balls a year or whatever. You can't do that as a quarterback. I mean, Joe Burrow at this point just does not practice.
So he unveiled his plan yesterday or this week, how he's going to manage it. Basically, the Bengals' goal is to just eke it through until it eventually gets stronger, which they're hoping later in the year. But I'm like, I don't know how you eke it through if you keep playing. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't know if you saw. Now Aaron Rodgers has his guy. So him and Aaron Rodgers is supposedly like, oh, I went through calf stuff. We're talking, we're texting all the time. This is what you should do. I played through it. Obviously, I won MVPs. I don't know, man. I just like the notion that you can't do this for 7 or 8 games. Because my point is you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still glass half empty right now on the team just because I don't know. Like,
well, they just haven't looked good at all.
No, not offensively. Defense looked great last game. But my point is, like, I don't know, Joe. Like, I was like texting with Justin, and I'm like, dude, the way the defense plays, you couldn't win this game with a backup? They scored 1 touchdown.
Right. Didn't I say that last episode?
Like,
I said that last episode. I was like, that's kind of where you got to be at.
Because, like, that's my take.
But at the same time, do they win that with a backup? Like, it was a close game.
It was. I don't know.
But he didn't play well at all.
No. And he threw 50 times, man.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You're getting the ball out quick. Cool. He still got hit.
He's missing
like
a ton of the downfield throws. Bad.
And that's how it was watching it live against Baltimore the week before. So who knows? But we'll see. I mean, we'll get to their game later. But let's start off with tonight. Lions, Packers. Oh, this is a good little
Ooh.
one.
Nice little Thursday night game.
It's in Lambeau. The Lions are 2-point faves. They won that last game of the year last year.
Right.
I can start it off.
It's not going to change what I say, but yeah, go for it.
I'm going to take the Packers.
I can see the Lions winning this game.
Sure, me too.
I think that the Lions. So I'll keep the Lions on the side right now. I'm not sure what to make of the Packers because they seem like the ultimate hot and cold team within games. Even like you score 18 points to finish off that game, you were getting shut out before that. The Saints defense is way better than the Lions defense at this point. Jameis couldn't move the ball. I just don't know what to make of the Packers. But I'm still not a Lions believer, and it's in Lambeau, and it's Thursday. I'm going to take the Packers.
So they're saying, with them being 2-point favorites, they're saying on a neutral field, the Lions are 5-point favorites because you're spotted 3 is the home team, they say.
Right.
That's interesting. I hope it's a good one. I hope it's not a stinker. We're already doing the London games. 6. Oh no, you're on this time zone. So 9:30.
This is the only time in football season where being on the East Coast is good. Not having to get up at that 6 a.m. game. Okay, so you have a 9:30 a.m. start. Who's in London?
Falcons and Jags. Jags are 3-point favorites. And the TV is listed as ESPN Plus, which is interesting. Like, if you don't have ESPN Plus, you can't watch it. There's no way.
You watch it on crack streams.
3-point Jacksonville favorites. So it's kind of an early must win for the Jags.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say must win, but you don't want to fall to 1-3.
No. I mean, it's not a must win because of that division, but you don't want to fall to 1-3. I think it is a Jags 3-point win. But I'll take the Jags to cover just in case. The Jags, let me ask you something. I was thinking this before last episode. The Jets, we don't count because they lost Rodgers. Okay. The Broncos, let me keep my own personal biases out of it. Which of these teams do you think is the most disappointing start? 0-3 Broncos, 0-3 Vikings, or 1-2 Jaguars?
1-2 Jags, because everybody, they were a Super Bowl sleeper. There was a lot of expectations on them. That's why.
Right. I agree because I think Vikings idiots and Broncos idiots would be like, oh, dude, we're 0-3. Like, this has got to be like, what a disappointment. It's like, I never believed in either of you guys. I didn't necessarily believe in the Jags as Super Bowl sleepers, but to me, when you're starting a rookie quarterback on two of the teams in your division, and then you have a Titans team that has, certainly regressed in how they were a few years ago. It seemed like it was the Jaguars division to run away with.
I thought so too.
Here's this is a side note, just since we're talking about the AFC South. Why aren't the Jets going for Tannehill? Why isn't Tannehill to the Jets? Because the Titans haven't given up on their season, nor necessarily should they.
Yeah. I just don't know what's going on. I mean, they had Trevor Siemian, the to the practice squad. He couldn't even making the Bengals team this year. I just like I don't know what was I reading, and it was a good point about Salah. And the point was like, dude, you gave up on Zach Wilson last year. You're not willing to give up on him now. He's just terrible. He's bad.
Well, they just don't have another thing. It seems crazy to me that they're not actively trying. Like I know this is going to trigger some of our anti-woke crowd. Obviously, I've been a Kaepernick defender the whole time. I, as a realist, am also like, listen, we're 7 years removed from football. I'm 2 seasons removed from bringing him up for every free agent, every team that needs a free agent quarterback. But when we talk about the letter that was sent to the Jets, essentially saying he just wanted to be a practice squad player, tell me why you would not do that.
Well, I think at
if
this
you're
point,
the Jets right now,
because you don't know if the practice squad player might have to end up being on the active roster.
right? But that's essentially what he's saying is like, there's no harm in this. Practice squad costs you nothing. If you're the Jets, isn't that where your head should be at? Like, how do we find our Brock Purdy? How do we find a guy that costs us
not him?
nothing?
And again, he's 7 years removed.
We're talking about. I can tell you right now.
But
Colin
hold
Kaepernick's
on,
better
it's
than
also
Zach
not
Wilson.
Trevor Siemian,
Right?
So it's it's neither of them.
My point is, Zach Wilson. We know what Zach Wilson is. Very bad. Like, I can tell you Trevor Siemian is probably better than Zach Wilson. I can tell you Colin Kaepernick's probably better than Zach Wilson. No, based on what? Zach Wilson's incapable of doing anything in the NFL at all. You talk about a guy like Colin Kaepernick, dude. The Jets are at the point right now where running the pistol and running Colin Kaepernick might not be a worse offense than what you are currently doing. The question is always like the upside. The downside we see with all these guys. Trevor Siemian's been horrible.
That's my point. Like Trevor Siemian's not
horrible.
Trevor Siemian can't
Colin
play.
Kaepernick at moments has been horrible, but at the same time, what is the upside? Where do you find upside if you're trying to find somebody who could come in and play for the Jets right now? Where do you find upside?
Well, I mean, the problem is, like a Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's in the Lions. That's what you need. The Lions obviously aren't going to give him up, but you need like that type of a backup. You need a Cooper Rush for the Cowboys. You need guys who have straight up won.
Right, but those guys are not available unless you're willing to. So where do you find a guy like? To me, the Jets right now, like I'd almost rather they go forget all these guys. Let's go get whoever was the most recent quarterback at Navy and run the fucking wishbone. Like, you need to find some sort of upside that's like, hey, we're going to do something a little bit different. People can shit on Colin Kaepernick being removed from 7 years in the league if he's honest that he's been working out the entire time. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, he's a better athlete than everybody on the roster at quarterback. But also, again, what's the negative? Your locker room's already a shit show. You were already the Hard Knocks team. You brought in Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's not like you're worried about the press situation, right?
I would have to look. I just don't know who the answer is that's available.
But they're not trying.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you something in regards to like the Kaepernick thing. If he sends you this letter, why are you not just being like, let's let him come and work out? And the reason that the answer to that is because Salah's committed to Zach Wilson, and that's costing them not only games. I was just going to say
Salah's ego right now is not good with the Zach Wilson situation.
Because it went too far last year. And then when it finally broke, it was really bad. These guys all bought in on the hype. They believed that they could win. and now the rug's been pulled out from under them, and now they're all turning on each other because not only are they not winning, they're fucking embarrassing themselves.
Yeah.
Like if you told me right now they're bringing in Johnny Football, obviously as a guy who's been a fucking Kaepernick defender, I'd be offended. But also I'd be like, okay, I get the idea. He's athletic, or he was. There's some upside there. You're just trying something. Try something different. Like bringing in Trevor Siemian, you're just being like, hey, remember Broncos Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But they're screwed with Zach Wilson, that's for sure. All right, two better teams in that division. Dolphins, Bills.
Did you take the Jags? Did you pick a
Oh,
Jags
sorry.
game?
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags too.
Okay.
Dolphins, Bills. I'm up first here. Exciting AFC East game. In Buffalo, we got the Bills as 2.5-point faves. There's just too much parity in the NFL, especially in the AFC. I don't see Miami going 4-0. I think the Bills win and cover.
I don't either, but I'm going to take Miami. I think that this week is where the Miami hype peaks.
But if they win and go 4-0, I'm starting to become a big time believer.
This is my point. I think they win. I think that the hype train reaches max capacity. And then I'm just like, oh, it's still a division game that you won 16-14 in Buffalo. They're not scoring 70 points.
Yeah, but they're scoring more than 16.
Bet the under. Bet the under on Buffalo, Miami right now.
It's 53.5.
Bet the under. Too obvious.
I'm gonna bet the over just to be the opposite of you.
Okay. I'll take Miami. I'm still not a Miami believer. But I think we have one more week where the hype just gets out of control.
Okay.
I think the Miami Super Bowl bets come in after Sunday. I think the Tua MVP bets come in after Sunday. Oh, he got it done in a close game up in Buffalo. Oh. This is the week before the week. Who do they play next week? And then they lose to the Jags.
No, they play your Giants next week.
Oh, that's right. I'll be there. There it is. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins to win the game. Hype train lost to the Giants. They are
going to beat the living shit out of the Giants.
Did you use the exact same phrase in describing the Cowboys-Cardinals game last week?
I didn't. But I'm telling you right now, they're going to beat the shit out of the Giants.
Let's go.
All right. Your terrible, maybe the worst game of the week. Broncos Bears. Oh my God. In Chicago.
I think they should do an old school Major League Baseball and trade their quarterbacks prior to the game and just see if it makes anything better. Just be like, just for today. You play with our guy, we'll play with your guy.
Somehow Denver's a 3.5-point favorite here. So we have a call from
Where is it?
It's at Soldier Field. As you think about that, I'm gonna play a call from just
inconsolable Broncos fan.
No, inconsolable Bears fan.
Bears fan.
This poor guy just doesn't know what to do.
What's going on, Joe and Andy? This is Zane, Dallas Dirtball, long-time listener, first-time caller. So I'm originally from the Chicago area, and I'm a Bears fan. And listening to you guys talk about the Bears all year, and to preface this, I'll say I would view myself as a fairly realistic Bears fan going into this year. I thought Fields had a lot of work to do. I predicted them to win 6 games. But even with all of that being said, for all Bears fans, this has been just a fucking debacle and meltdown season, and we're only 3 weeks in. So I'm sitting watching us get our shit kicked in by the Chiefs, and the thought came to me, I haven't seen a competently run team for, more than 1 year at a time in my whole life. And that got me thinking about, Andy, you talking about how the Bengals are so mismanaged and the ownership is so poor. And at this point, I'm 22, but I'm already getting to the point where it's like I need this team to, show me something or win me back in a way. Like, I'm so disgusted with just how this franchise is run in general. So I guess my question is for Andy, or I guess, Joe, you got this a little bit with the Mets this year. Like, when you have such a horrible start and I guess just kind of a heartbreak of a season and it's just begun, and you kind of have that moment of like, holy shit, my franchise might just be mismanaged and we might just be a poverty franchise. Like, where do you go from there? Is it directly to, hoping an owner dies, or do we have some wiggle room of something to be excited about? What do you guys think?
I think, and by the way, to compare it to the Mets is ridiculous, because I think everything that's wrong with the Bears is essentially that they're never like this Mets team. You guys, the Bears never take a big swing. Like, from year to year, the Bears, like, you guys do nothing. There's nobody.
Well, honestly, they did with the Jay Cutler trade. They took a swing.
Okay, yeah, but that's forever ago now. I mean, we're talking about year in and year out. Like, the thing about Bears fans and the Bears franchise, they try to get you hyped on like the least hypeable things ever. Like, God, we got Allen Robinson. You're like, oh, stop selling me Allen Robinson. Stop selling me. Like, Tariq Cohen was like a nice little player, but like, stop selling me that this guy is like some sort of franchise cornerstone. To me, the Bears, what you should do if you're the Bears franchise is be the fucking Bears. Be like, I don't give a fuck about anything. I don't care if we have to have fucking Rex Grossman shitting his way through games. Put a fucking defense on the field. Because here's the thing. If you're not done with the Justin Fields experiment right now, you're going to have a running back playing quarterback. Stop some teams. Play ugly. You're the fucking Bears. Enough with the Matt Nagy. Enough with the Eberflus. Enough with the we're gonna catch up to the modern NFL. You play in fucking Soldier Field. Every single stadium in football is going through some like, is turf okay? Is the grass that we roll in and out okay? You guys are just in some mud pit, some old, like my sister's backyard lawn. You're just fucking, you're the Bears. You're in get grimy. Get a defense. Start there. You have to build some. The Bears are building nothing. Like, year in and year out, I'm like, what did the Bears do? Oh, you didn't hear, dude? We got DJ Moore on his first touch of the fucking preseason. He went for a screen. Cool, man. Stop trying to sell me mediocre shit like you fucking did something.
The fact that Super Bowl team with Rex Grossman, the fact that they stuck with him is all you need to know about the Bears franchise. That was a really good team, man. That defense was really good.
They didn't even really stick with him, though. I think it was what's his name to start the year.
Grossman started
from Purdue.
No, that was the year before, Kyle Orton. Grossman started all 16 games that year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. All 16 games. And they just stuck with the guy who's going to be basically 1-to-1 touchdown interception and throw for 54% completions. But that's my point, is like, They
But
knew
that worked. That worked infinitely more than anything the Bears have done in the last fucking 20 years.
Here's my thing when it comes to these teams. You need to earn. Actually, this is actually perfect because you're a Bears fan. Let's use another Chicago team. The Cubs were always the lovable losers, right? They tried. This is my difference in some of these organizations. You have to try. The Cubs always tried. The Cubs had players. Holy shit, the Steve Bartman thing happens, right? The 88 Cubs with Mark Grace that loses, I think, in the NLCS to the 88 or 89 to the Giants. My point is, like, they had some good teams. They went out and made some free agent signings. They tried. Dude, if your ownership tries, you can't fault them. At least they tried.
When you look at this Bears team, like, where are they spending their money?
But that's what I was getting to.
Every team in the NFL is essentially right at the cap, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all right there. Like, how do some teams have a bunch of guys and you guys just have, like, nobody of note?
But that's my point is if your ownership.
And you're not even paying your quarterback.
Like, it's funny to me when a team stinks for years and then they get good or they get a good pick and then the fans come back and people will be like, oh, where the fuck were you? Like, will you expect people to watch shitty teams?
Right.
Like
the thing is that to me, the Bears have absolutely no personality in terms of a team. You're just like, what are we? And to me, the obvious answer is like, well, at least you have a long time. You have a historic personality of Smash Mouth football, of the 85 Bears, even your teams in the 2000s that were good, it was always on defense. Focus fucking on defense. I mean, they had Lovie Smith, and then they tried to do the opposite. And it's like, cool, you tried to you took your swings. You tried to go offensive genius, right? It didn't work. Get back to the basics.
But
put a fucking badass defense on the field this year.
But it all comes back to quarterback, man. You guys have just never had.
But you got to start somewhere. That's because Andy, that's the wrong idea when you don't have a basis. You can't trot out. You just can't trot out a quarterback and think that they're going to turn the thing around.
No, I agree. But my point is, that's the difference. How many times are we going to say in these franchises? Dude, if you don't have a quarterback or at least a decent quarterback, you go nowhere. But a lot of it's luck. Dude, a lot of it is luck. I mean, this is the truth. It matters when you suck, as crazy as that sounds. It does. It matters when you suck.
But you better start building something so you can add. The model now is build something, add a quarterback, maybe get a quarterback who's young on a rookie deal and try to win immediately. If you don't build anything, you don't even have something to plug and play with. They have no identity. Their identity right now is an embarrassing quarterback play.
Yeah.
That's their identity right now, is the Justin Fields experiment, which is rotten vegetables.
Did you just call Justin Fields rotten vegetables?
Yeah.
He is. You know, when you go
he is when you commit to getting healthy and you go to the supermarket and you're like, not only am I going to meal prep, I'm going to start doing green juices. And then you get all of these ingredients and you put them into the little cooler bin in your refrigerator.
Oh yeah.
And then you never take out your blender, and then you open that humidity drawer one day, and it's just a black wetness. And you're like, what is that? And it looks like a science experiment.
It's like when you gotta.
It looks like a zombie brain.
Well, you don't have to deal with this, but like now, right? Garbage day, living in a house, you're like, oh man, we didn't touch any of these.
Yeah. And you go in and you're like, how did it get slimy? Like, how does that even work? You open the drawer, you're like, fuck, we forgot about that. We were never going to use that celery. We were never, we were going to,
Yeah.
why did we even buy something called leafy greens?
I mean,
We were going to meal prep. Remember we were going to do lettuce cups? We did lettuce in a drawer, and now it's spawned an arm.
I mean, you could argue that the Bears' entire quarterback situation as a franchise for eternity
Yeah.
has been rotten vegetables.
Yeah.
Like they just never got around to it. Like,
Yeah.
we got a nice defense. We got a nice running back here and there.
Talk to Jim McMahon someday. Jim McMahon is going to be the token white guy on the Antonio Brown, Chandler Jones CTE podcast.
Oh man! All right, so we got to make.
They're like, why are you dressed like the Terminator? Are you blind? And he's just like, no, I'm McMahon.
Oh, he's rocking a headband.
Yeah. They're like, what? Why are you dressed like Sloth from Goonies after he became Superman? He's got why are you wearing a headband, suspenders, and Schwarzenegger's glasses from the original Terminator? Welcome to the Rotten Vegetables podcast. I'm Jim McMahon here with Chandler Jones and Antonio Brown.
Oh shit! All right, who you taking this? I think I'm up first.
I don't even know what game we're talking about.
Bears Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos to win and cover.
You're taking the Broncos to win and cover?
Yeah, the Bears are rotten vegetables, bro.
Dude, I'm just the fuck.
The Broncos
around.
the Broncos are also pumpkins 2 weeks after Halloween.
God,
that have started to wilt, and you're just like a teenager. You're like, we should take that and throw it through a mailbox.
Dude, just for fuck's sake. I'm taking the rotten vegetables.
Love it. Which one? The Bears?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I hate that it's 3.5. They had to have a half-point hook on there.
I know. All right. Ravens, Browns. Ooh, nice little AFC North battle in Cleveland. Browns are 3-point faves.
Wow.
Well, they're just saying it's basically an even game on a neutral site.
Yeah. The Browns defense is so good.
It's been playing well, man.
Is this I'm not rooting for it. I don't dislike. I have no reason to dislike Lamar Jackson. I know there's a lot of people. I know the internet and fans of our show hate it when you criticize somebody because they think that means that you don't like them for the. I have no problem with Lamar Jackson as a person whatsoever. So don't get mad at me. But is this the Lamar Jackson gets hurt game? Their defense is so good, and they get after it.
Ravens D's pretty good too, man.
I know, but I'm just talking about if you're going to be doing the
You're
Lamar,
saying they get after the quarterback. Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're going to do this is a bad game. This is like a dangerous game to play the Lamar Jackson as our leading rusher game.
Yeah, it is. I think this game is a push, but I'm going to go with Cleveland.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. And I'll hate that if I lose this game because Tyler Huntley finishes it. I can't decide if Cleveland's good or I guess this is Cleveland good or bad game. I mean, I know they're not bad. Their defense is really good, but
look, dude, I don't think anybody.
Do the Ravens go back-to-back L's, Colts, Browns?
Maybe. I just don't think at this point I'm ready to project nobody wins more than 11 games in this division.
They're just going to beat each other up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. 3-2-1 team is a 1-2 team. which is one of the teams for next week or next game. Bengals Titans. It's in Nashville. Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. See, like this is what I was going to say earlier. The Bengals have Nashville, or they have the Titans. I mean, and then they have Arizona. It's like they could easily be 3-2, and then they're totally fine. Hell, they could be 2-3 realistically. They started 2-3 last year. But like, is this that game? This is like, I to be honest, I basically was like W a couple weeks ago. That's a W. But now I'm like, is this just a game where, again, Tennessee doesn't look good, but they get after it, and they know Burrow cannot run at all, and that's a huge part of his game, right? His athletic ability, his mobility. You take that away. I just think Vrabel's a smart enough coach. Is this a game, or is another one the Bengals just eke out?
I think it's one the Bengals eke out, but just because, God, did the Titans look bad last week? Titans look awful.
Yeah.
I believed in the Titans, but last week I was just like, oh man, you guys are not good at all. Just don't think they have an offense. I think this is a Bengals eke it out. What is this is kind of the game where it's like you could play your backup, try to eke this game out. I mean, obviously they're not going to because they just played Burrow and they won, and they're going to keep. But like, if you could play your backup in this game and eke it out, then you give it some confidence. You go and you play Arizona. But I think Burrow plays. I think they do eke it out. It's 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals win and cover. This could be a season saver. I mean, listen, you also can't be 1-3. You can't be 1-3. Like the Bengals are still back against the wall. You could be 2-3, I guess, if you beat the Cardinals next week. But man, it gets only because that division, like you said, it's like probably no one going to run away with it.
Well, here's the thing: the Bengals, the early part of the schedule's now. Like as far as like Tennessee, I'm not saying Tennessee's a gimme, but like Tennessee, Arizona, because looking down, like you said, you got the AFC North, you got the Bills, you got the Chiefs. It's like you got some tough games later in the year. You got the Niners in a few weeks. It's like, right, like, and that's my thing with that's to kind of go back to my Burrow thing is like, guys, he's not looking good because he's hurt. Like I do think it's mostly because he's hurt. But my point is, you can't lose any of these games because you like they're not winning in San Francisco right now, especially fucking with Burrow injured. They're not winning in Kansas City. Those are two road games you can just chalk up as L's. I would. Okay. I'm gonna agree with you though. I think they eke it out. They won last year in Tennessee. I think they do it again. All right, Rams Colts. Let's start mowing through some of these. Rams Colts is even. I am up first.
Where's that game?
It's in Indianapolis.
Okay. You're up first.
Colts looked good last week. I say the Rams win. They're gonna come back down to earth.
Agreed.
All right. Bucs Saints in New Orleans. New Orleans is 3-point favorites. This is for first place in the division.
Bucs Saints in New Orleans. New Orleans is 3-point favorites.
Yeah, we don't know about the Derek Carr situation, I believe.
We don't think he's playing him, and for that, I'm taking the Bucs. I'm not getting burned. I'm not backing Jameis.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that either. All right, I'll take the Bucs as well. All right, Commanders Eagles 8.5-point. Dude, the Commanders crushed me last week. They just got their ass handed to them.
I saw that coming.
Philly's 8.5-point favorites. It's in Philly. You're up first.
Eagles are 8-point favorites in Philly.
8.5.
I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this whole Sam Howell thing. I'm not going to get burned by them twice. I'm going to hit the Eagles as well. All right, Vikings, Panthers. This is your other dud game of the week. 2-0-3 teams. Minnesota's 4-point favorites. It's in Charlotte. I believe Bryce Young is
Minnesota
playing.
4-point favorites in Charlotte.
Yeah. I'm up first, right?
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to take the Panthers
Minnesota
to
fans
cover.
and Kirk Cousins fans are so fucking delusional that you guys should have. You should have given up on the season. You should. I can't believe I haven't gotten flowers show up at my door apologizing. I can't believe I haven't had handwritten notes. I can't believe you motherfuckers went MIA on me. I tried to tell you and I tried to tell you and I tried to tell you, and you didn't fucking nothing. No flowers, no apology. And you know why? I know why. Because you're so fucking delusional that you're going to win and cover against the Panthers and be 1-3 and be like, we're not out of it yet. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. The Vikings fucking stink. Quarterback is maybe the most overrated in the history of the game. But you're going to win and cover. And that's why I haven't gotten flowers, because you guys are delusional. And then next week, we'll get the call on the show. Joe, the Giants and the Vikings have the same record. You still think we're fucking done? First of all, we're going to beat the Seahawks, so we won't have the same record. And second of all, shut the fuck up. Even at 1-3, after you pound a shitty Panthers team, your season's still done. Trade your quarterback to the Jets while you can, you fucking clowns.
So you taking the Panthers?
I'm taking the Vikings to win and cover.
Okay.
That's what I said. They're going to win and cover. They'll delusionally be back.
All right, Steelers, Texans. Big win last week. We didn't even talk about it. The Texans. Big
CJ
win.
Stroud, the OSU curse, is it over?
Yeah, he looked good.
Looks okay. It's early.
Pittsburgh's 1-2.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 2-1. Texans are 1-2. Pittsburgh's 3-point favorites.
At home?
It's in Houston.
Ooh. It's going to be a good game, I think. I'll take Pittsburgh to win and cover. I'm still on the Pittsburgh. Dude, what a wild twist and turn my Pittsburgh rooting fandom has had. I think I got burned a couple years ago when the Steelers started fucking super hot. I was like, they're trash. And now I'm on the Steelers. I'll take the Steelers to win and cover.
Rookie quarterback against a good defense.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers to win and cover as well. All
Hey,
right.
let me ask you something. Can we talk about the Steelers for a second? I know you and I have taken our shots at the Cheddar Dick Watt family over the years. I've no qualms with TJ Watt. Great player, no doubt about it. One of the best defensive players in the NFL. What is it about
touchdown dance?
What's that?
I hate his sack dance.
No, forget that. But what is it about? Are these JJ Watt? Are these like JJ Watts? Why is there a subsection of the fans, NFL fans, that are like TJ Watt's easily the best player in the NFL? Like, why doesn't everybody like it almost feels like they're doing the Chiefs underdog? Like, why is the storyline around TJ Watt like underappreciated? Doesn't everybody know TJ Watt's great? Like, if we say, oh, Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the NFL, or Bosa is the best edge rusher, like, who gives a shit? Like, why is there a weird TJ Watt stand-em?
Oh yeah, it's because people think they're so cool, the Watt brothers.
I guess that's my question. Is it just a Watt brothers thing?
Even though
is it a white dude thing? But then that would be like a
but
Bosa
then that would like
be
Bosa.
Yeah.
I think it's a Watt brother thing.
It's like, great. TJ Watt's great.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
Great.
I also, again, would never want to hang out with him or his brother. And I think
just throwing tires around the backyard.
Yeah, I just don't think they're interesting people. I don't like his sack dance.
Even it wasn't on the it was that was Sunday Night Football last week.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a whole thing where JJ Watt was like? Didn't JJ Watt say during the broadcast, or they showed a quote of him during the broadcast saying like he's the best defensive player? Like, whose brother says that?
Dude, he's not Michael Parsons, man. I don't care what anyone says.
I know.
Michael Parsons can just wreck games. And Michael Parsons can be versatile, like where they can line him up. Yeah.
Dude, Bosa had a couple Bosa had a sack and a multiple quarterback pressure. The Giants were triple teaming him last Thursday.
Yeah. I know. It's a Watt brother thing, I'm telling you. All right, Raiders, Chargers. This will be a home game, basically, for the Raiders.
Raiders.
Chargers are 5.5 faves. This is always a tough one when it's in LA.
It's always a tough one in LA. It is a rivalry of sorts.
Okay. Who's up? I'm up.
Sure.
I'm going to go out on a limb on this. I think the Raiders are fucking trash.
Agreed.
As much as I hate Staley, I think they just beat the fuck out of him.
Agreed.
All right. Patriots, Cowboys in Dallas. Dallas is 6.5-point favorites.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
I think Dallas bounce back game. Dallas bounce back game. Belichick can run the ball, but he's not running the ball. Like, with as poorly as they've been passing the ball, you think he'd be running the ball more. I just think it's a Dallas bounce back game. I'm not a believer. I think, I hate to start this fucking phrase this early in the year, but Dallas Cowboys, Tug Coker favorite, Paper Tigers. I think this has been like their MO last couple of years. I'm still not a believer, but I think they are good enough that they obviously should have beaten the Cardinals, and they should obviously beat the Patriots. And I think that they have a bounce back game and they look really good, and people just go, okay, maybe we overreacted to the Cardinals thing. And I don't think you did overreact to the Cardinals thing. But I think that they'll make you think you did.
All right, I'm going to pick the Patriots to cover. Cardinals, Niners. It's in California. Niners are 14-point favorites.
14.
I mean, they're just Cardinals, who were supposed to go in tank mode, have been in every game, won a game. It's like they've been right there. So I think this is the week it falls off. I'm gonna take the Niners to win and cover.
I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover. I just think 14, it's so
big
big.
spread.
It's so big in the NFL.
It's big.
They play hard.
They do.
And the Niners have looked so good, but the Niners, even against the Giants, like that game was close. I don't think that the Giants are in their class at all, obviously, but they kind of hung around and they pulled away late. I think it was a 17 or 18-point win or whatever it was, but it was a lot closer than that. I think the Cardinals are more likely to just like get beat up early, stay in it late. 14 just seems too much. I'm going to regret this when they lose by 40.
Yeah, I think you will too. Sunday Night Football, man, we get Zach Wilson in Sunday night primetime. All these Jets games that were scheduled for primetime. Kansas City's 9.5-point favorites. It's in East Rutherford. So MetLife Stadium. So it's a home game for the Jets. Does that factor into your equation?
No, Taylor will be there. I'm going Chiefs win and cover.
Dude, I can't pick the Jets with Zach Wilson. Sorry. Chiefs win and cover. Agreed. All right, your boys, Monday Night Football. Giants, Seahawks. It's even. I'm up first. Seahawks win.
I think the Giants win a close one. I think that this is kind of a make or break game for both teams. And I could see this game going either way. But I think the Giants will torture their fans a little bit more. I don't think it'll be. I think they're going to drag this along. We'll win this week. We'll keep it moving.
All right. That's your week 4. Give us a ring on the old hotline. 310-359-8365.
Is that our show, Andy?
Yeah, we don't need any more Taylor Swift
All
calls
right.
for the record.
Okay. Did you have other calls, non-Taylor Swift calls?
No, I'll get to them
Okay.
another day.
So recap, guys. If you're listening and you're in the tri-state area tonight, you can come see me at New York Comedy Club Stanford, 7:00 show. Tomorrow, Empire City Casino in Yonkers. There's still a chance I might tag some shows on in the city this weekend. There's still a chance I might tag a show on Monday. Maybe I'll go to the Seahawks-Giants game. We'll see. I'm not sure. But I know one thing. Wednesday morning, I get up and I fly to Florida, and then I drive the long drive. The bridge is out down to the Florida Keys. Comedy Key West next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you're in Miami, meet me the Giants tailgate on Sunday the 8th. Are you a Dolphins season ticket holder? I will go to the game with you. I don't have my tickets yet. So if you want to go watch a game in Miami and you have tickets, slide in my DMs. I am at Joe Prano on all social media except for X, where I remain at Fix Your Life. I'll be on Game Breakers on Amazon this Tuesday. When I get back to town, I'll have shows in and around California before going to Vegas the end of October for a week at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club, October 30th to November 5th, and then Giants at Raiders. And then, of course, we have the 1000th Dirty Sports podcast in New Orleans. Oh, it's coming together. Andy and I have rented an Airbnb. We've got all kinds of things lined up. I think it's a good sign. The nickname for the Airbnb, Chop Gun 2, because it's on Chapatopolis Street or whatever the fuck it is. Not Top Gun 2, Chop Gun 2. I think it's a good sign. Pete Sestaro, Andy Lazarus, Randy Ruther, all going to be making guest appearances on some of the podcasts and the shows. Get your tickets now. Buy your tickets to the podcast. Buy your tickets to the show. If you go and ticket bundles are not available, I would say buy tickets to the 7:00 show. Buy your tickets to the podcast. Buy your tickets to the 7:00 show. Follow me on all social media. I've been putting up some clips. And watch me on TV on Amazon on Tuesday.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks for the listens, views, whatever you guys are doing. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.